What's up? Trying to light shit on fire and it's not going. Okay. We're here! Hello, my loves. How's everybody? I hope we're all good. I hope we're doing amazing. And if we're not, that's just the roll in the mud, as I just commented to somebody else. It's the roll in the mud for our skin, right? You ever heard of those mud baths that people take at like a spa? And they do like the whole mud wrap and they get all gross. It's for your skin, but your soul has skin too, right? So even if we're not doing great, you know, it's still beneficial. Yes. Okay, so this is Palo Santo. It's got this like cinnamony, herby, earthy, warm, like smooth campfire kind of, I don't know, it's so amazing. It's so different than sage, and that's why I freaking love it, because it cleanses us in a totally different type of energy. Yes, I'm always here with the vibes of that sort. How are we all doing? How did last week go? So I'm very curious to know, because we were under Leo's full moon. We had some father wound shit come up. Did anybody notice some hardcore father wound in there? Confronting things about how we were raised, maybe? I'd be very interested to know, because the energies of the planets last week, we were like getting ready for conflict, and actually it's like kind of pushing into this week as well. We're really like rebelling against something. So last week, with it being the end of something, like the completion of a cycle because of a circle type deal, and then stepping into our pleasure, we had to know what the opposite of pleasure is. So we had to step into that whole, I don't fucking like anything, I don't want to be like that. So we had to step into it to know what we were actually trying to step away from, right? So we put it on last week. We really stepped into some shadow work inadvertently. Not really, but like, that's the price we pay. We do the shadow work in order to move forward. So if we want to move forward ever, we have to do that work first. So, ooh, cards. Oh my god, it's all the way there. Why? Oh shit, okay, there's some things happening here. What is Michael saying? Yes, dude, I literally roll in the dirt and do dirt angels in the summertime before I plant my garden. I roll in that shit and I'm like, we are one. Like, you'll see one of my posts in my Instagram. It's like, it's a ways back, but I call myself the dirt goddess because I'm obsessed with the dirt. That is so healthy for you, and I'm so glad that you do that. You know what? And being too busy with work is totally a thing. It happens, but it doesn't mean that the energy has like surpassed you. The energy will come back for you. You know what I'm saying? It's, oh, okay. We're just doing that one. Got it. Cards came out. I don't know what to say. It's happening. So the work is gonna find you when you're ready for it. So it's not like you missed it. The energy definitely fucking returns, you know? So you rest assured, the work will be done. And we have the option of either succumbing to it, surrendering to it, and doing it while being busy, or getting blindsided by it randomly, or setting up time to do it. There's so many different ways that this work shows up, and we sometimes have control, sometimes we do not. So we're just here, right? This is the fucking human school, right? This is the school where we're learning the mastery of humanness. Yeah. So just going with the flow. Every page is different. Every textbook is different, right? We're just learning all the things. So don't you worry. The lessons will come. All will be resolved. And it's so funny because we can't resolve everything in our lifetime. And that's why we pass on half of our traumas to our children. You know, the things that we don't resolve go to them. And that's perfect because that's the epigenetics of it. Because it's an infinite cycle. We never end. And that's why there's no such thing as perfection. It can't exist because there is no end. Change is inevitable. So when you think things are perfect and you're done and you've healed, whoop! The universe conspires and is like, ha, no. You have more! Because I can infinitely create things for you. So, that's the fun part. Okay. Hold on. I need some more pear. I'm like eating my snack late. I'm sorry. Guys, give me some updates. How are you guys? How did that energy last week hit you? Did anybody struggle with anything? Because for myself, there's definitely like that anger coming up for me where I'm like getting sick of some things and I'm just like, no, fuck off, get away from me. And they're like coming up and out and I'm like, ugh, like I really want shift, I really want change, but in order for that to come for me, I need to like push and shove all of this other stuff away. I have to get really sick of it in order to make that change. So for myself, there's been that tensiony shit going on. Are you guys feeling that as well? Like, tell me in the comments. Purging crazy negative energy. Ashley, yes. Not sleeping well. There's a lot of things with sleep happening right now. There's a lot of things because we're trying to up level before the sun enters Pisces mid-February. So that's the last zodiac sign that we have. So we're literally getting ready to take in all of the wisdom from the entire zodiacal year before we step into the new zodiac year that starts with Aries. So before we set our life on fire, before we get action really going in April, at the end of, March, April, we have to get our shit sorted here. So Aquarius, air, water, container, conspiring to things, cooperation, community. We're like really trying to redefine things for ourselves. Like the way that we're governing our lives, the way that we're governing our communities as a society. There's so much shit going on. So the fact that you are pulling out all that negative stuff, this is amazing. So if you felt all that negative shit, if you're purging it, if you're feeling edgy, hence the edgier music today, it's not like a soft, subtle thing. It's like there's some serious shadow work coming around and we are like, we're done. We're moving on. I'm getting hot. Is anybody else getting a hot flash? Oh, I need a fan. Fuck. This is not beer. This is my water. This is what I use because I've realized in order to drink water, I need some vessel that's like really dope. And I love corks. So being old school and loving all things old, you'll know because all my journals and like my planners and shit look old as fuck. Like, this is my planner for the year, guys. I'm just really stepping into the fact that I'm an old ass soul. Old. Somehow. All of the ancient ways of doing things, like simplified ways, I love. So, I'm not getting drunk on our call. Or am I? Oh, what the fuck is wrong with me? Okay, anyway. I'm glad that you guys are on board with me. Okay, I'm not even gonna try to simmer. I'm gonna not, because this is my energy right now. Hi. Okay. Oh. Literally opened to the motherfucking page again. Dope ass wisdom for us. Okay, my friends, are we ready for that energy that's shifting? I know the energy of the moon is going down, but that's because the wisdom is coming. The layers are shedding. We need to shed before we can take on newness, right? And that's perfect because as we shed the rest of all this shit, we were fully aggressive and stepping into that full emotion. We're going to shed it all. And that was around the full moon. We're going to shed it with the moon as it transitions into Pisces. Okay, anyway, are we ready? I love that all of you are laughing at me in the comments. I love you. Okay, ready? First card. The owl, and it's upside down. Obviously intentional, I didn't just flip this for you. Why is this not focused? Anyway, it's really pretty. That's the upright. Yeah, there's teal in there. Okay, so our first card is the owl. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's pretty focused. Alright, it came in upside down. Owl is the master of the night. She can see situations with perfect clarity, more so when it is dark, and is able to discern the truth when others are sightless. Guys, this is fucking shadow work talking to us right now. This is good wisdom. Pay attention. Come to me. She helps you find your light and your lightness in the darkest moments of your life, and to embrace the night as your ally. Literally, shadow work, which is exactly what we do. We shed all of that dark shit, but we have to go through it first. We have to have that dark night of the soul. We have to have those patches where we're fully fucking mud because we spent our entire night or week in the woods of our souls and felt all this negative shit, right? And then we come to the dawning of time, the dawning of ourselves, and we come out of that mud, out of that darkness, that negativity, to find that all that shit was medicine and it created us as this person that we are. No experience is wasted, right? Owl guards us against self-deception and insists that your motives be pure and transparent to all. What is the message that you are not hearing? The situation you are not seeing with clarity? Owl invites you to wait patiently. Bide your time until it is right to act. Then do so decisively, with no hesitation or remorse. I want to hit that again because there's some really deep shit in there that we might not have heard that first time. So she's guarding us against self-deception, right? And wants us to be pure and transparent. This is her wisdom, okay? What is a message that you're not hearing or a situation that you are not seeing with clarity? Owl invites you to wait patiently. Bide your time until it is right to act, and then do so decisively without hesitation or remorse. Get to fucking know yourselves, right? That is the point of this group. That is the point of divine self-connection. We're connecting to ourselves. Yeah, I know myself, great. But how do I know myself on a deeper level? How can I look at my past and say certain things happened for a reason that created me? How can I create a divine purpose out of this where I say, I would not be as great as I am without these things? How can we do that? By connecting to the divinity that is within ourselves. Shit has happened for a reason. Every experience has been a gift up to this point. And now we're awaiting the next. Every single breath is that gift, right? So every experience that we have, as Owl says, literally, is not wasted on us. It is there, specific for us, so that when we go through that darkness, we awaken to the light within ourselves as well. So if the shadow work didn't hit you last week, you're getting your chance. We're gonna revisit that shit. But shadow work is not the worst. It's putting on that sweater, right? That is ugly and tucked in the back of your closet, putting on that ugly fucker and going, yeah, this itches. Yup. And there's like something stabbing me in the back. This is awful. And until we understand that situation, that sweater, that emotion, we can't take it off. We have to put that shit on to understand it. And then we can take it off because we've learned the lesson, we've created a relationship with it, and now we understand the divine purpose of it, right? We would not know comfort without that discomfort. We would not know our lightness without that darkness. We have to have contrast as humans. We're literally created in contrast. It's for us. Okay. The other card that we got, again, medicine, which is very interesting considering we're in waning moon. Shit lines up. I love it. We got the rainbow. Really pretty, like, parrot, I want to say. Came in upside down, again. So, don't get caught in the pursuit of the illusion of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay. Reading that again. Don't get caught in pursuit of the illusion of the pot of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Find the treasure now, in the moment, by coming into the right relationship with those around you. All your gifts are at hand, so obvious you may have missed them. Be true with your intentions and do not be led astray by daydreams. Okay, so there's some like illusionary shit going on. Did Owl and Rainbow literally just say the whole fucking thing? Don't self-deceive, but also don't get caught into the illusions of life. Okay, so this is the thing. We need to separate the difference of reality and truth. Okay, so technically reality doesn't really exist, but we're not going to jump into that right now. What we're going to jump into is the fact that the truth is unchanging. Over time, it cannot change. Just like the truth is, change is inevitable. Change is our only guarantee in life other than death, right? That is a solid truth that will not change over time. That's what truth is. We have to separate truth from imagination, right? This perception in our minds where we're fantasizing about what life could be, fantasizing about what we could have or what things could have been. We have to leave the fantasy, the imagination, separate from the truth. We need to be discerning so that we do not deceive ourselves, and so we don't step into this illusionary world where we're chasing something that we will never actually attain. We have to watch what we're convincing ourselves of, right? And because Ghost Dance was coming up in one of those past readings, probably 3 weeks ago, we can't get caught in nostalgia either. So there's something from the past, something about us, something deep within us that is like trying to come up and be expressed, but it has that stickiness about it where there is the possibility of it being like that mousetrap paper where they're walking and they get stuck to it and that's it. Like they can't move. This is the warning. Do not deceive yourself. Do not get stuck in the illusion. Don't allow it to happen. Be with the medicine as it comes and find the beauty in the moment in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So as the shadow work comes up, as you are faced with discomfort, as you are faced with all of these things, all these feelings, these memories, these moments, these worries, these perceptions, let them happen. Our first instinct when discomfort rises is to run. You ever hear that like TikTok where it's like run? Okay, that's the whole fucking thing. That's what our body wants to do. The moment something arises, we're like, fuck that shit, run, I'm done, right? We can't. Okay, we can't. The planet said so already, last week, into this week. We cannot. We need to rebel against ourselves. It's time that we lay down the law with ourselves. We get firm, but kind. Because that firmness comes from self-love. I love you so much I cannot let you do that anymore. That's a really big phrase. I love you so much I can't let you do that anymore. Say it to yourself. When something arises, you cannot run. I love you so much I can't let you run anymore. We have to deal with this shit. We have been running our whole lives away from this discomfort, away from these feelings. All these memories, all this shadow. We're the masters of running. But now that we're in this part of the year, right? This like, I want to call it like a trimester, like we had in schools. Now that we're here, this is the next book we're learning. This is the next step. This year is all about shadow work and rebelling against our shadow, rebelling against ourselves, but in a good way. It's rebelling as in putting it on and having that discord with yourself going, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm ready to not do this with you because I love you. I'm ready to up level with you because I love you. I'm ready to do the hard work with you because I love you, right? So do not get caught in that self-deception, that illusion that, oh, you know, it'll be fine if we just run away. Yep, if we just eat that, or if we just drink this, or if we smoke that, or if we go watch this, or if we go play that game, everything will be fine. Nope. That is the illusion. That is the self-deception. Do not do that to yourselves. You deserve better. You deserve better. Do you feel your hearts aching for that growth? Aching for that freedom? You deserve better. And that's where we're going. We have the opportunity now to be in that space and to act right? To act on our lives. Last card. We got this one like 2 weeks ago. It's adventure. It's a reminder. Because when we got this last time, right? We were gonna go on an adventure, but something had to get out of the way. We're revisiting that. Embrace the unknown. That's that feeling of discomfort that we were talking about. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't have control here, but we do have influence, right? Practice unattachment. Let the expectation go. So that's that fantasy realm, the illusion, that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Stop chasing that shit. Practice unattachment. Find the rainbow beautiful, whether there's a fucking pot of gold at the end of that shit or not. The rainbow is beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful that we get to feel such deep things? Such deep love for our children, our partners, our animals, our lives, our work, our purpose, our breath, our bodies, our food, our earth. Are you fucking kidding? Isn't that beautiful, right? There's so much here for us already. We have to practice the unattachment of that, oh, then I'll be happy. Find something here, because there's something so worthwhile for us. Here. We're missing it, because we're caught in that illusion, in that shadow. We're done. It's time for the adventure to really begin. This is the mastery of ourselves, right? Change is imminent. Change, like I said, it's here. So that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, that shit's gonna change. Your shadow, the emotions, the discomfort, that's gonna change. The light, the happiness, even when we get that, that's gonna change too, because there's gonna be different things that make us happy over our lifetime. And then we're gonna have to get more shadow work done, because we want a deeper level of happiness. The only way to reach those deeper levels of pleasure, which was last week's card, right? The only way to get there is through the shadowy bits. So if we want more love, more happiness, more contentment, we need to get real with ourselves and find truth and step away from fantasy and illusion. Take a leap of faith and say yes. Say yes to that shadow work. Say yes to that feeling. Say yes to getting vulnerable with yourselves and saying, yeah, I will put this feeling on. I remember that fucking memory. I remember that feeling. I remember who was there. I remember what that felt like and how horrible it was, and then let that energy well in you and rise. Literally making you cry, sob, scream, yell, dance, move, throw your body. Let it rise within you. Say yes to that fucking emotion, that energy. Let it be you. Experience it, because it's coming up for a reason. It was not dealt with. Give it space. Because this is the adventure of life. This is what we're fucking here for. Depth. Literally depth. And to experience every single emotion that we could possibly experience. We are not here to have a taste of stuff. If we can feel this extreme of low and this extreme of high, we did not come here to live in the fucking middle. We came here to swing that bitch. Literally. Because if we didn't, how boring would life be if it was always mediocre? What the fuck would be the point? Where would the contrast be? Where would the sense of adventure be? If we knew everything, if we expected it and could anticipate it and we're like, yeah, I know what's gonna happen. No big deal. There would never be excitement. Because isn't the unknown exciting? That's what this life is. So this shadow work is another level of an adventure. Say yes to it. You're ready. It's time. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to the evolution that you're trying to, expand into. Say yes to that future version of yourself, that future self you're trying to pull in and put on and become. You're ready for it. So you're ready to drop away all of this shadow work. You're ready to step through that shadow door, down the shadow corridor to where you and your future self are in harmony. And it's always a revolving door. As soon as you go down the corridor and you walk through the light corridor, then you're walking back through the shadow one. It's a revisiting, right? This is the time for the adventure. We have to say yes to the shadow work. We are not going to get an option, right? That's it, guys. That was some really big shit. Are you guys ready to stop deceiving yourselves and to say yes to everything that you want yourself to become? I have a feeling that you are. So over the next week, we're going to be letting go of some stuff. Really big emotions are going to come up. We're going to rebel against ourselves and our old habits. we're gonna rebel against ourselves and the confinement, the ways we were confined by our past. Because we're ready for that future. We're ready to step onto that rainbow. We want the wisdom and we want to move on. We're sick of playing the old records. We're going on an adventure. Y'all ever seen Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit? Any of those? When Frodo literally takes Bilbo takes the contract and he's like, I'm going on an adventure! Okay, that's what we're doing. We're going on a fucking huge soul quest adventure right now. Because we want death. We want more. This is pretty fucking inspiring. I am like amped right now because of this. This energy is so potent. Holy fuck. Alright, let's read comments. Yeah. Healing is only part of it. Healing is only part of this, Michael. You can live simultaneously while healing. So it's being present and noticing that that ugly Christmas sweater you're wearing from being 6 years old when somebody was screaming in your house and slamming doors and might have lit your Christmas tree on fire, that sweater, even somehow in that sweater, there's magic. And finding the healing there is also magic. So it's just bridging between healing and living and healing and living. As long as we're taking in that medicine, that wisdom from those times that were horrendous in our lives, as long as we're taking that wisdom in, that is life. That is the beauty. That's how we create harmony inside of ourselves, right? Don't live a dead life that drains you. Well, right, exactly. But there's a necessity to that draining. We need to be drained of our energy to know what it's like when we feel vitalized or revitalized, right? To know vitality, you have to know death. You have to know what it's like to be depressed, to be devoid of any purpose or energy. You have to know sadness. To then be able to understand what it's like to have happiness, joy, pleasure, contentment, right? It's the balance. We cannot have one without the other. The sun, the moon, the dark, the light. You will find that there are periods, phases, years, months, weeks, days, hours of time where you do feel dead and you are living a death. Living a dead energy, yes. Because we have to put that on. We have to experience that room. We have to walk through that, put on that sweater, be that person, be that memory in order to get to the other side of it. It all serves its purpose. Just had a Lord of the Rings dream last night. Girl! You going on an adventure, you magical freaking person? You shall pass. That's all I'm saying. You shall pass. Oh, my loves. Ugh. Okay, so I just want to offer this before I offer any other readings. I need a snack. If you guys want to get through some of your shadow work, some heavier things that you're like, okay, everything she's saying sounds great, but how the fuck? I have reading collections for a reason. It's multiple weeks, over like the course of 2 months that you can book. So that I'm there with you and we're talking specific about your shit and how you're gonna get over it, because the cards will tell us everything we need to know. Literally just like this. You see how straightforward this shit is. It's not made up. It's fucking real. So if you want to get over your shit where you're stuck, this is how we do it. We tap into the energy of it and we find the wisdom in the medicine, right? So I have Beyond Trauma readings, I have Next Life Steps readings, I have General Wisdom readings, but they're collections. Because a bigger container to support you guys in, multiple readings to where you're like, okay, that reading was great, but now I have more questions, and now I have more pain. What the fuck is this? How do I deal with that? That's what it's for. Because I can't just do one reading for you and leave you high and dry. That's not fair. Where's the aftercare? Right? Am I right? Am I right? So, my reading collections is all about that aftercare, and we constantly go through it. You get the recorded reading so that you can revisit it. And that reading, the readings that are collected like that in a chunk of time, will work with you through that year. Because that's for you, your phase, your work. So if you guys want to dive into your specific traumas, your specific healing, your specific shadow, book a reading. Literally, they will be so beneficial to you if you've been looking to let go of something that's been stuck for a while. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that I offered those, because they're really in depth. And not everybody wants to talk about their trauma, but ladies and gents, I've got plenty of trauma, and that's what I'm here to fucking talk about. It's literally written in my chart to talk about that taboo shit. You want to talk pedophilia, rape, molestation, you want to talk addiction, you want to talk self-mutilation, you want to talk suicide. Literally, anything you want to talk about, we'll get into it. There's honestly nothing that I won't talk about. Because that is the scope of human experience. No experience is wrong. Right? I'm here for this shit. And it doesn't get weird and it does not get too deep. So that's what she said. Don't mind me. I'm a rare kind of breed tonight, apparently. Jesus Christ. Anyway, better to be Gandalf than Saruman. My friend, you are right. You are right. Because I don't want to even deal with the eye drops that he would have needed for Sauron's eye. Like, I just don't. I don't want to have that kind of eye allergy. You know what I'm saying? You had to start the Lord of the Rings analogy? Oh, God. I love this nerdiness. Dude, that's what it is. We're magical motherfuckers, okay? Trying to aspire to be Gandalf in some way or another. And we're all just a bunch of hobbits running around like, what the fuck is this? Okay, my friends. Now that you guys know that you can book crazy-ass readings with me that will talk about your shadow, your trauma, and your past, and to help you move on and heal from that, now I will take your questions. So, please, by all means, if you have something you would like to ask, you can put general, you can put me, you can put specific questions, and I will pull something for you. Like, hey, what shadow is going to come up for me? Where do I start? What do I work on? General wisdom, whatever you have. Put it in the comments and we will pull a card for you. Oh. Anybody need a card? He did go on the same adventure, and that's exactly it. He recruited him. He was the 13th. No, Gandalf was not the 13th, but they needed the burglar to go on the adventure. He basically was the one that made the adventure happen because he knew, because the fucking universe told him, like, hey, there's some really fucked up shit going. Get your best warriors out there, right? Right? Okay. Marcy. What do I work on? What does Marcy work on? Oh. Okay. You gotta set your life on fire and literally gain a new perspective, and you need to take authority over your life. Start calling the shots. Stop sitting in the background. Literally set this shit on fire. There's something you need to transform, let that shit come up and feel it and transmute it. Sit with that, learn the wisdom that it has for you, because you literally just got 3 cards, okay? I know, made me bend, asshole. Made me work for my own cards. Oh, if that's not the truth. Well, that's because I keep hitting you with rattles and staffs. So, there you go. So, set your life on fire, find your passion, and the passion needs to be associated with the direction in your life that you're going. So, truly, there is something that needs to be set the fuck on fire, and we were just in a Leo mode. I told you cannot escape this fucking shadow work. Hummingbird, you're literally trying to raise your perspective. You're trying to get to that higher vibing self. You're trying to get to a specific space, but you can only do that if you call authority in, and you're holding that staff. Gandalf, what is this? You have the staff. You shall not pass unless you fucking throw that shit to the goddamn demon in the fucking fire over the bridge, okay? So, literally, call authority into your life, command what the fuck is gonna happen, and be ready for the results that you get. It's time now. Now. Meow. Oh, I need more music. What just happened? I'm sorry, I have to put music on before I get to my next reading because there might be an ad. There's not. There's not? This is very exciting. Okay. Ooh, Black Narcissus, where the flowers grant you wishes. Oh, this is delicious. Okay. Vibing this. I'm totally vibing this. Okay, anyway. Who was Okay. So that was Marcy. Let's do Adriana really quick. General wisdom for Adriana. What does Adriana need? Ooh. That one. Okay. I just want to make sure that you get the most out of this one. You ready for this? My love, you got the hunter. Little hard to see, but there's like a lot there. And if you see there's a bear in the background, your mom bear needs to step the fuck up for you, okay? I'm gonna read this description so we know what we're standing on here. Rely on your own skills to traverse the thick forest you are in to reach your destination. You need to follow the tracks left by spirit to claim your bounty, which is already prepared and being offered to you. Do not follow the maps drawn by others, as they will not lead you true. Instead, become the map maker. Find your internal compass and use all your senses, including your common sense. So literally, all of this shadow work and shit that's coming up right now, right? This general reading that we had where we were saying we're ready for an adventure. It's true. You're ready for an adventure as well, but you have to be the one that maps out where that goes. You have to be able to trust yourself that you know the way, right? Trust in those innate skills, because if I gave you a map and I said these are the things you need to do, you're not going to feel it at the seat of your soul half as much as you would if you dictate it yourself. If you say, inside my body, this is what's coming up, and you listen, and then you say, okay, so this is coming up. Now I need to find this wisdom. I need to find what's in there for me. What else am I feeling? That's going to create that map for you, okay? Take your mama bear, your inner mama bear that you would have for your son that's protecting him, that would want to guide him in the right direction, the one that would never give up, that would be very ferocious in mapping out the way that he needs to go about something. Pull that for yourself. Turn into that mama bear and say, what do I need for myself, right? What do I need for myself? What do I need from myself? Where do I need to go? And it will rise from literally within you. It's you that you have to create the relationship with, because you are the ship and the master. You are literally on the ocean of your life, steering the boat, and the boat is you. You go where you steer. So this is having trust in yourself, because everything is already gifted to you. The gifts are here, but we have to find them in that moment now. There is treasure here, but we have to allow it to come up. And like I said, it's gonna feel uncomfortable, but there is magic in that. There is a gift in that, but we need to allow it to rise. So you have to map out what that means for you to basically find your foundation and begin to build from there. Bring your senses into it. Your physical senses, literally. Pay attention to what you're hearing, tasting, smelling, seeing, your bodily sensations. What part of your body is tensing? Is it the back of your neck? Is it your shoulders? Is it your solar plexus? Is it your hips? Is it your feet? Is it your left or right side of your body? All of these things will direct you. They're very, very subtle symbols that lead you to what you need to know. Okay. Manifesting soul purpose and timing. Okay, Ashley. Ooh, okay. Found yours. Hold on. God, I feel like I'm in Hogwarts because the shit's coming up so quickly. It's like, ah! Here it is. Here's your card. Done. You've got to be shitting me. Okay. So, really funny that you should say timing, because I just want to be like, bitch, guess what just fell out of the deck? So I said that. The Seer and the Time Master. Is anybody else gonna kick out of this synchronistic shit? I love it. I love it. So good. Alright, so the Seer. They're both upside right, so you have invitations. You have a beautiful opportunity in front of you that you need to take at the whisper, not at the screaming. Okay? The Seer invites you to trust your intuition and follow it as it leads you forward. You may feel lost when it appears, that your hunch is taking you in circles or even through a maze. But the hidden realms don't follow the rules of a two-dimensional map. Are we seeing a common theme? Mapping it out like, oh, what and when and how and who, and we have to create this shit ourselves, right? So you literally cannot look to the basic reality to be telling you what and when. Or my soul's purpose, or, how is it going to come to fruition? We're in it now. You're in it. You already started. You started as soon as you came out of a vagina. That's the soul contract you signed on for, and you're like, yep, I read this book. I really, really like the life story. There's so many plot twists. I'm jumping in! And you come out of vagina, and you're ready. You're ready to take on that life. Girl, you are in your soul's purpose already because you're becoming who you are. You're becoming yourself, and you're more yourself now than you were 5 years ago. Tell me that's not true. And in 5 years, you'll be more yourself then than you are now. Tell me that's not true. So when is not real, because the now is now, right? Your self exists here and now. You are in your purpose now, and you'll be in your purpose in 5 years. You can't escape your purpose. I can't escape mine. It will change, it will come, okay? So don't get stuck in that whole other reality of expecting normal signs. Trust your intuition and get into the spiritual side of it. Trust yourself to see those signs, right? Yeah, find the nuances. I almost don't even want to read this other one, but we're going to just dive in really quick. So it says, when the Time Master visits you, he asks an important question. Will you break free from limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcoming the cyclic quality of time? You find yourself in a moment when the wheel of time turns and you're able to influence the past, thus changing the present and the future simultaneously. This is a true test of the Time Master. You're being invited to take back your power, so let go of the past and choose to step into your life. In this moment, you are powerful. You are the Time Master. Anything is possible now. So it's literally telling you here and now is your focus. Here and now. That's it. You have to understand that you're in your purpose now. You have to become the person who sees that, because the seer understands you're living your divine purpose at this very moment. That Time Master thing, the whole two-dimensional version of reality, it doesn't fucking exist. You got to let go of that past so that you can move forward, right? And step into your purposes more clearly. Trust that intuition of yours. Sharon, what card fell? It was the circle. So from last week, the meaning of the circle, there was something that needed to come up. I'll read it for you. When the circle appears, it reminds you that you are connected to everything and everyone, including spirit. Spirit's essence beats in your heart and inspires you to co-create your world, knowing that you count and that you have purpose in this world. Sharon, this is exactly it. You have to remember your own fucking magic. That's your part of the shadow work. You have to... Something is blocking your self-worth and self-value. Let that shit come up and be really honest with yourself, because you cannot escape this. It's gonna keep coming until you sit with that and ready yourself. The circle came up for you. Okay, Michael and emotions. What does he need to know about his emotional state? The Rainmaker, you need to make the best of your life and what you have here and now. Truly. So, hold on. The Rainmaker is calling you to create something new from the elements that you already have in your life. Be sure to work with what is and not with what might be or could have been. Work with what is, don't self-deceive, and not what might have been or what could have been. That's the illusion of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? The seeds that have been silently germinating in your heart will burst forth ready for the sunlight. Do not hold back. Put all your chips on the next roll of the divine dice. Excuse me. I'm sorry. So this is literally stepping back into emotion, right? You had the question about emotion. Stepping into truth and stepping away from illusion. Stepping away from fantasy. So find the emotions that are true. If emotions are coming up and you're like, I don't know what the fuck to think, I don't know what to feel, I don't know what's true, I don't know what's not, why are all these perceptions and stories bogging me down? Literally. because they need to be put on, they need to have time and space, they need to be sat with. And then we have to understand the beauty of them as they are here. They are not here to kill us. They're not here to make us miserable. They're here for the contrast of the experience of being human, right? We need them because, as I said, if we have the two extremes of life, the bad and the good, we use that term loosely because there is no such thing as bad and good. If we literally have these two extremes, we don't want our life stuck in the middle of mediocrity, because what the fuck is the point? Take the extremes as the gift that they are. They're adding the contrasting darks and the lights to the picture of your life, right? You cannot have one without the other. Experience the emotions and let them be with you. That's what needs to happen. Robin, giving and receiving, could you, I don't know if that was a question, but if that was, can you expand on that? Okay, sell or not to sell the house for Donna. What does Donna need to do with this house? This physical space. Okay, this one's a big one. There's a lot of energy in this one. I need you to listen. Miss Donna, you got big medicine. Big. So this is not a yes or no question. This is literally not a, yeah, sell it, yeah, don't. Because there's something bigger within you that's asking this question. There's a bigger thing that needs resolution here than just selling a physical property. There's energetic ties here that need your awareness. I'm loving this music right now so hard. All right, you got the mystical shaman. It came in upside down. You have serious medicine, so bear with me and listen closely. Revisit the replay for when you need to listen to it, okay? Be careful what you pray for, okay? So that is a warning to basically get to know the truth of yourself. Don't pray for something out of praying for something, out of desperation or out of fear, right? Get into the intuition of yourself and go, why am I praying for it? Okay. Be careful what you pray for. Really get to know what you're actually calling out, what spells you're actually casting with this repetitive incantation of, oh, please give me this. Oh, please give me this. We have to be cautious and conscious of what we're doing with that repetition. The mystical shaman cautions you against relentless attachment to a certain form that you think will make you happy, prosperous, famous, or loved. Literally, right? Letting go of attachment, letting go of expectation, because that's going to get in the way of what is here and now, the actual beauty, not the pot of gold. However, in seeing your dream come into being, had you considered what you were willing to sacrifice for it? Okay. Perhaps you have been telling yourself a certain story for so long. The story that only when you reach this particular goal will you be happy, that you will arrive. You didn't even notice you're no longer the person who wanted those outcomes. You may have moved beyond those stories. Perhaps it's time to admit to yourself that you need to imagine a new story that is more in alignment with who you have become. This is just one moment in millions of moments in the continuum of a life. Let it go. Let it be just a story and move on. Better tales are waiting to be told. So as I said, sitting with yourself, getting into that intuition, getting into those root feelings, shadow is going to come up for you surrounding this. There is something that you don't want to get rid of. There's something to get rid of. There is something unsettled that is discontented within you, that there's unrest that needs to be spoken to. But there's also a lightness that needs to be acknowledged. You are either choosing shadow or you're choosing light. You're in that process. But you cannot choose one without going through them both. Shadow comes first, and then we come to the light, right? Sit with yourself and ask yourself questions. Question the feelings that rise. Do you feel settled? Do you feel rooted in this house? Why do I want to sell? Is it because of a genuine feeling for myself? What happens when I sell? What am I dreading? What am I excited for? Get to know the truth of your situation, the truth of your own feelings, the truth of your being here. Not in this material world, not, oh, well, if I sell, it's money. If I sell, it's easier. That's an illusion. Remember, we're not trying to self-deceive. We're not trying to give in to illusion. This week is going to be very difficult in the discomfort realm. But once we're through it, we're through it. It ends. It moves on. Energy changes. Change is imminent, right? Your change just needs to take its course. Bear with the timing. Be with yourself. Allow it to rise for you. I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments. Robin, what if your emotions are dead? You're so silly. Dustin, future. Ashley, you're so welcome. I hope that hit home for you. Let me know if it did. All right, future for Dustin. Okay. You ready for this shit? You got the child. Okay? The child is... Okay. Try that again. The child is here to release you from the habit of being yourself and to help you acquire a beginner's mind so that you can see life as if for the first time. My friend, your ego's coming up. You have some serious identity to release. You do not need to be this person anymore, right? You have the ability, the gift of opportunity right now to let that tension go, to let that identity go. And you get to experience yourself and say, wait a minute, if I let my past go and I realize that I'm alive here and now and I can do anything from here, wait a minute, that means I'm like powerful and shit, and I can re-identify myself and recreate myself, and oh my god, I can start over. That's what this is. But the only way to start over is to confront that ego, confronting the past, seeing what's holding you to that fucking sticky paper that mice step on. What is keeping you stuck in that identity? Remain open to learning and discovery. Who is your spouse or partner today? Can you see them with fresh eyes? Who is looking back at you in the mirror this morning? Become a mystery unto yourself and reconnect with a sense of childlike wonder. I wonder what the world could be. I wonder what my life could be like. I wonder what I could do. I wonder who I could become. I wonder what it would be like if I let my past go. I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. I really want you to begin sentences with that instead of saying, well, I'm like this. Yeah, okay, let that sentence come out of your mouth. I'm like this, great. I wonder what I would be like if I wasn't. If I wasn't like that, what would I be? Challenge that ego. Rebel against your fucking ego. Because literally the planets right now, the way that they are, rebellion for the year. That's going to be you all goddamn year. I hope you're ready, my friend. This is the year you rewrite yourself. Okay. Let me see. Reading. All right, so Nadia, we're gonna do kind of like a general for you because the wisdom's gonna come out. You just need to know how to proceed forward. Oh, okay, that was weird. Very weird. I want you to also heed that message, the one I just read for Dustin about the child. I want you to take some wisdom with that. I want you to revisit that one, Nadia. There's wisdom in that one for you as well. What? This one's gonna be fun. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Nadia, you got the wild woman. All right, so when the wild woman comes to dance in your reading, you're invited to shine brightly and to know that your true self is being called out to engage in the world. This is a symbol that your long-held dream is beginning to take root and wants to be expressed. Your authentic self doesn't fit in a box. Gee, talk about some wisdom. It needs the freedom to shine. It's time to have courage and step into the light. The wild woman says, shine brightly, dance with abandon, be yourself, and let Great Spirit decide what happens. You'll be happy you did. So this comes back to being the truth of yourself. Have you ever heard the story of the eagle and the crow, and how the eagle flies and then on its back there's a crow pecking at the back of its fucking head, and the eagle just flies on? It's just like, yeah man, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm just here flying. And then because the crows are pecking, it flies higher and higher and higher until that fucking crow cannot breathe because it's not accustomed to flying so high. It is not accustomed to being at that level. So there's no oxygen. So it passes out and falls off. That's what you need to do. Continue on, be yourself. Higher self. Higher self. Okay? That's what's really coming out. Your true self, the truth, the undisputable piece of you that is rid of the past, that is void of all of the weight because it's flying high. That self, that truth is what is wishing to come out. That wild woman within you that knows you're better than those reactions, right? Talk to the emotions that are coming up. Talk to that shadow. Do not deceive yourself and do not distrust yourself. You know the way. Don't give way to fantasy and say how good it would feel to piss them all off. That's feeding into ego. Wild woman wants to come out, literally. Call in that higher self. Imagine her all the while you go through your shadow work this week. Because that shadow work is what is going to walk you towards that higher self. See your shadow through your higher self's eyes. Okay? I hope that made sense. Let me know in the comments if it did. Yes, Michael, what's already here and germinating? Dustin. Yes, because this is a constant unbecoming in order to become who we are. We have to unbecome everything we've ever fucking learned, every pattern, every habit that we have ever stepped foot into or clung to out of just pure desperation and I guess weakness. Because it's not always easy to grow. There's struggle there. There's friction. Who the fuck wants to actually do that shit and walk into pain? Nobody. But we're better for it when we do. When we take it on consciously and we go, this will be something I look back on and be glad I did. And that's why I started this reading out by saying we deserve better from ourselves. We need to say to ourselves, I love you so much, I'm putting you through this. That's why I'm putting you through this. Because I love you so much. We're ready for that shit. Nadia, it was for you. Good. That was for someone who asked you a question. Oh, okay. Okay. Makes sense. All right. Does anybody else want a reading? I think that I got everybody, but if I didn't, drop a comment again because sometimes they get lost and I don't see them because it like filters through the most relevant comments, I guess. Dude, okay, Nadia. Cell phone wallpaper. Literally get a picture of an eagle and a crow. Look it up on Google. Set that bitch up as your background on your phone so that you have that reminder. Write on it. You can put text on the picture. Edit it so it can say what you need it to say. That is setting the intention for you to become who you want to become, right? Hey, Kelvin. What's up? All right, my friends, does anybody else have a question or would like a reading? Dude, this has been a very fiery session. Who needs what? Just leave me a comment. Say me, say general, say finance, life, the past, shadow work, whatever category you need a reading in. Just throw it out there. And I will answer it. Where do I start with all the shadow work coming up? All right. Do you just want like a general wisdom? Or do you have a question? Let me know. Sharon. My sweet love. Your self-worth is talking. I need you to listen to that. I need you to get into that. I need you to get into your self-trust and why you don't trust yourself. What's stopping you from trusting yourself and feeling like you're worthy? What's in the way of you feeling worthy? All right, so Sharon, the card you got is called the Holy Mountain, but it came in upside down, so there's medicine for you. There's something that you need to get hit with by spirit. Some hard truth, right? When the Holy Mountain shows up, it's time to be active. Do not let your doubts deter you and keep you bound. This is a time to leap over challenges and to remember that from the top of the mountain, there are no obstacles, only beauty and an unobstructed view of the entire earth. And there's no need to go shopping for the right hiking boots or camping equipment to climb the Holy Mountain. You already have all the gear you need. Overcome any lethargy, indolence, and laziness, as these are the real obstacles. So, as I said, there's bigger things inside of you that are telling you that you're not worthy of the action necessary. You're not worthy of the change. You're not worthy of that stored energy in the form of extra money. What is standing in your way? What is making you believe inside of your ego's voice, the thing talking in your head, that monologue that's constantly chipping away at your self-worth? What is it fucking saying to you? You have to become aware of that voice in there as you're climbing this mountain, as you're overcoming this obstacle. Ask questions. Why am I thinking this? Is this good for me? Where is this coming from? Is there a memory? Is there an age? Is there a smell? Because that might actually trigger you to a memory. Is there something you're looking at that made you feel that way on the topic when it came up? You know what I'm saying? So I need you to sit with more of those internal emotions and get to know the truth for you, right? The truth, not the illusion, not the fake stuff that we tell ourselves, not when we say, oh, only good vibes here. That's a motherfucking lie. That is literally not how it works. It has to be, I've got bad vibes, I've got good vibes because I am divinely balanced, and that's what I do. I go through phases, I go through cycles because that's what I do. I am human. I am in the mastery school of what it means to be human. I am here learning how to balance. And in order to learn how to balance, I have to learn the extremes and how they tilt, and then how they move and how they tilt, and how one gives to the other a momentum. But we cannot allow certain beliefs to sink us, right? So we have to allow that shadow to rise this week, and that's for you. You have to allow your shadow to rise and not to cover it up with any illusion, any niceties, any nice words. Don't soothe that shit. Sit with that shit and let it get ugly. Fight with yourself over this shit because you are done being broke. You are done struggling. Whatever it is for finance, you are done with that. You are ready for more. There is shadow here for you. Allow it to rise so you can overcome it. Okay? I hope that makes sense for you. I'm feeling aggressive tonight. Are you guys feeling my vibes? How it's just like, you know, that motherly thing where it's like, I'm going to tell you how it is because you really need to know it, and I mean it with the most amount of love I could ever muster out of my entire physical body. Because that's what this is. This is literally full of hard truths because we're ready to be more than we are, because we're sick of being what we are. We're sick of being where we are. We're ready to listen to ourselves, right? That's what we're here to do in Divine Self-Connection. We are ready to fucking listen to ourselves. Okay. I forgot what I was saying, but I'm hyped still. Does anybody have any other questions? Do they have anything else they want to say? Because I'm like raring to go. If you want the wisdom, if you want the hard truths, if you want to get into it, I'm just here to get into it. And I also, okay, this is the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm going to be doing Q&As. I've been trying to get a plethora of questions, like a little reserve of questions that I can just do videos on and answer for you guys. So what I would like you to do, if you have questions about something spiritual, if you have questions about your life and like what are signs and symbols and what do you do if there's this or that, ask me all the questions, okay? So I'm gonna need a lot of questions, and there's no dumb question. I fucking kid you not. There's no dumb question. Ask the questions, please. All right, Amanda. Let's see what card comes up for you. Laura, what's happening? Amanda, what does Amanda need to know? Okay, you got the hunter card too. There's something about you needing to trust yourself and understand that the gifts are already here for you. Literally, the hunter knows that if it walks the land, all the fucking animals, all the berries, all the everything that it ever needs is gonna be there. But it has to trust itself. It can't go to the ways that everybody else said to. Like, oh, these are the hunting grounds. This is where we go to get our stuff. We know it. We've been there. That's all well and good. That's nice. Everybody has their opinions. Because that's what works for them. But what if you have different food that you want? What if there's a whole entire oasis of gifts awaiting you and they're not on the map? Trust yourself to know that you can find the way for yourself. Literally trust in the wisdom that is out there waiting for you. The opportunities are here and now. Does that make sense? So you have to trust yourself that you know the way, because you do. You know exactly what's happening right now. Don't wait for the map from somebody else to tell you what way to go. That's not for you. The maps of other people are not for you. You have to feel into what your map is, because the gifts are already there. Literally explore your own map. Explore yourself, the sensations of your body, the signs and the symbols. Explore your life, the little things you're being told, and you will literally have every single fucking answer that you could potentially be looking for. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. All right, let me try not to knock my phone over again. Okay, Kelvin. Oops, Jesus. If I hit you and I invite you, that's not me inviting you. Oops. All right, curious on a life reading. Okay, yes, Amanda, find your own path, because it's there for you already. Kelvin, why the fuck you got me throwing cards? Shit. Okay, the lower world popped up for you. You have a shadow work to do. For serious shadow work, but it's to the point where, like, you need to give in, surrender to it, and understand that there's medicine in everything that is in the lower world, which is like where all of our ancestors and everybody that passes away goes. All right, so I'll show it to you. So it's very blue. It's very beautiful. Stalactites, stalagmites, beautiful things happening. All right, it is time to unearth your hidden treasures. Do not make yourself small in order for others to like or accept you. Okay? That's some shadow worky shit. There's something that is within you that is asking you to stay small. There's something in your ego that's like, oh my God, if we're big, if we're amazing, if we step into our greatness, then we have to take responsibility for things and become more, and then more people will look at us, and oh fuck, if more people look at us, then there might be rejection, there might be criticism, and I don't know if I can handle that. That's ego. Let it be. Let it come to you. That's going to rise this week for you, because that's what's speaking to you for you to stay small. That shit's not real, my friend. That's not the truth. Remember at the beginning of this reading, I had said that there's a discernment that we need to make where the truth is an unchanging thing. It cannot change. It withstands the test of time, right? Just like change is a guarantee in life. That will not change. That's a truth. It stands, okay? So the rest of this says, bring out the gems and precious stones that you have kept inside your heart, hidden even from yourself. Get to know yourself, get to know your truth, right? If you could get rid of all this shadow, all this past, all this ego, all this shit, getting you stuck to that mouse paper, right? Stuck in fear, stuck in conformity, stuck in societal views of how you need to be. If you could get rid of that childlike wonder that has popped up, the rainbow that has popped up to ask us, if you can see it, wonder about it, what would your life be like if you stepped out to your own radiance, right? Instead of looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, we're becoming the rainbow, okay? Step into that for yourself, truly. It's time to honor your past and to recast your life as a heroic quest. Dude. Does that, like, not hit home? Seriously? We just said we have to let the past go, right? It no longer holds here for us. There's no weight here for that anymore. It's done. It's over with, right? As you journey into the lower world, you will be offered all gifts of your ancestors. Their struggles, the way they hurt, the way they lived, and the way they died will become blessings. Because there is wisdom in literally every experience, right? So take that with you. Understand that everything that they went through, everything that was passed down to you, everything that you learned that created you, all of the past traumas from your parents and your grandparents and your family members. Everything was a gift. Traverse into it, let it rise, let it become a part of you, and then realize that's not your final sentence. You get to create who you are. You can let go of that past because there is some innate light within you that is begging to come out. There is a greatness in you that is ready to shine, right? I hope that all makes sense for you. Let me know in the comments if it does. Does anybody else have any other questions that they want answered? Is there any other curiosities? Do you want a general card, general wisdom, a me, a love, a finance, Yeah, there's a huge shift and change going on right now. So I keep saying this, but the planets, the way that they're aligned right now, they're asking us to rebel against ourselves. They're asking us to rebel against our past self, our past in general, our past traumas, our past patterns. We are being asked to rebel against the way that we used to be because we are literally so sick of it and we're ready to move on. So that rebellion is actually a devotion to ourselves, a complete act of self-love. Because we are devoted, we are committed to ourselves, committed to becoming better, committed to a deeper connection with ourselves, knowing ourselves better, and creating a life that we actually want that is forward moving, right? And we can only do that forward moving stuff if we rebel against that past and say, never again. It's not happening again. I'm going to go through this with you once. We're going to have the conversation. We're going to figure out what's going on. We're going to find awareness. And then we're going to find acceptance by surrendering to what was there. And then we're going to accept that medicine and move on. Like, we're not going to repeat this pattern again. This is our final conversation with ourselves. But it's literally dressed in love. There's so much love. Okay? So just understand that all the feelings that are going to come up in the next week, they're going to be difficult as fuck. Love them. Understand that through the guys, I keep saying guys, literally, through the lens of love, look at everything that comes up for you. Okay? It's all here to impart a beautiful message to you. All right, let me see here. Purging old stuff. That's a common theme right now. Yes, it's our death purge. We're literally getting rid of what is dead. If you think of yourself as a tree, where every single fucking person on this planet is a tree. There are roots that are alive, there are roots that are dead. There are branches that are alive, there are branches that are dead. What do apple farmers do? What do fruit tree farmers do? They go around every season, in the fall and in the end of the spring, at the end of the seasons, and they chop shit off. Whole branches, whole halves of trees if they need to. Because what does that do? It encourages better growth in the season to come, and it literally stops the disease of that dead part getting to the good part. We have to face our shit and cut it the fuck off. But that's not without thanking it for being there. Thanking it for bearing the fruit that it did bear while it was there. It served a purpose. It gave us certain things. We do not want to disown our shadows. We want to welcome our shadows and sit with them and love them so much that they don't feel a need to wreak havoc on us anymore because we've made a relationship with them. Does that make sense? A card for Sarah. So just to like bring that back full circle, that purging that you're doing of your house and all of your things, spot on. You're making space in your environment because your physical world, if there's too much clutter, your energetic world in here cannot unfold because there's no room for it to be in the physical world. So you clean your physical space, more and more of your energetic body will pop out. More and more of the suppressed emotions will pop out because there's more room. It's safer, right? Okay. I just want to make sure a general for Sarah. Okay. General for Sarah. What does Sarah need to know? Okay. My love, you got water, Miss Sarah. You got water, but it came in upside down. I'm excited for this one for you, okay? Ready and be with me. Listen close. This is a time for cleansing unwanted energy and sticky feelings. Here's that mouse paper. Don't get stuck in yourself. Don't get stuck in self-deceit, right? Or illusion. Consider this. What water does to the flesh, it does in sacred ritual to the spirit. The spiritual cleansing, like baptism, is the opportunity to get an instantaneous experience of the timeless, non-ordinary reality in which all true creation takes place. Now is also a time that is pregnant with potential for you. Carl Jung talked about the maternal womb-like significance of water as a universal symbol. So basically, all life comes from water, all life comes from the womb, and Carl Jung talked about that a lot, right? So there's significance in how water, energy's moving, how water can literally cleanse us, it can nurture us, it can give birth to something else. There are so many properties and abilities that water has in it innately that affect us on a physical level, a spiritual level, energetics. Like, it's a powerhouse, really. Water represents the potentiality of existence. So inside of water, anything can happen, because that's where the first bacteria came from that gave life to this planet Earth, right? If we recall that from science class. It precedes and sustains every creation. Water comes first in everything. Water comes first in everything. It comes before the creation or birth of anything. Water starts it. That's where it all begins. Emergence from it is manifestation, right? Birthing from the womb. Something comes out of the womb, out of water. You're birthing manifestations, coming into the physical reality. Immersion, literally going into water, is dissolution. So it's literally dissolving, right? So if we go into that womb space, if we go into that nurturing womb-like water space of emotion, we can dissolve what's there. That's the beauty of this. Because of this, it symbolizes regeneration. Make way for the process. You can expect it to be messy, but be worth it. This is exactly what we're talking about. The shadow that's going to come up for you. It's going to be emotion, right? It's going to be heavy, but it's going to be a cleansing that you've been needing and wanting and desiring for so long, but you need it in a nurturing way. That time is here. You are going to find regeneration in this. All the emotions that are coming up for you in the next week truly will bring you the birth of what you've been seeking and what you've been looking for. Okay? Okay. Is there anybody else that has any other questions? Sarah, let me know if that made sense in the comments, if that helped you or made sense or hit home for you, okay? Robin, welcome back, my dear. Thanks for rejoining. Yeah, I hit my phone and decided to kibosh that last live. I don't really know what happened. I do know what happened, but it was kind of fucked up the way that it fell. I'm mad about it. But I'm letting it go because we're here still, so. All right, are there any other questions before we conclude? I'm pretty sure that I got to anybody. And also, guys, I really do need your questions because I want to start giving you guys like insane amounts of information. And the only way I can do that is if I know where you guys are at. If you have a starting point for yourself, I guarantee you 10 other people in this group also have that. So please make sure to ask questions to me because I really want to answer them, you know, but I can't answer it if I don't know. So if you have questions on tarot, the divine, if you have questions on shadow work, emotional intelligence, creating inner harmony within yourself, doing something beyond your trauma, how do you heal certain things? How do you cast spells? Like, questions about my story. How did I get here? Where did I learn things? What crystals do I like? What's my favorite sacred tool? Like, all of the questions that you could possibly have, ask. I'm down for conversation and I'm ready to let you guys know things, you know? Like, not that I'm ready for it, but like, I just want to like throw up all the information I know, but I need to be initiated. So I need you guys to be asking the questions, and then I'll just start flying off the handle, kind of like these readings where I pull a card and I'm like, yeah, because that's cute. God, you know, sometimes it's like weird being weird. It's weird to notice how weird you are, but in the midst of it, you're like, okay, I'm this weird, whatever. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Oh, did you answer what if your emotions are dead? Your emotions are not dead. If they were dead, you would not even want to be around people. You would see no purpose in talking with anybody. You would see no point in being around anybody. You would have no personal connection to your life or the things you do in your life. You would be void of everything. You would lose your purpose. So, and I mean to the nth degree where you literally feel nothing. If you're feeling something and you're like, oh, well, I feel nothing, but you're actually feeling something about that feeling nothing, where you're like, I feel nothing, but you feel sad or depressed about it, you have feelings still. And it's quite common, not common, but it's quite impossible to not have emotion, right? Because you still have your amygdala in your brain. You still have your limbic system in your brain. The only way to be void of emotion is if somebody removed that amygdala from your fucking brainstem. Like, that's where your emotions live. Like, if you move that part, your limbic system doesn't even work. So, you've got your whole brain. I promise you your emotions aren't dead. You're just cut off from them if that's your full question. So, I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if it did. Does anybody else want a card for anything? Are we feeling we need more clarity? I would also like to just revisit to you guys that I do offer reading collections, so if you do want to get through something really big and it can't be answered in a one-card pull because that one card is leaving you with 20 questions, you can book like a collections session where it's multiple readings over weeks. So there's some that last 8 weeks long. So if you guys are looking to dive into some really big shit and clear that out, I am here to help you with that. No matter what it is, traumas or not, like, I can help you through that patch of shadow work or expansion. That's what I'm here for. Does she have a chakra block or some disassociation maybe? So what happens, yes, it can be, so suppression can become a chronic thing. So that's a habit, right? That is shadow. That is a path literally in the brain. So if we think of the brain as a fresh snow hill, okay? When you go sledding, you create a track down that hill, right? And then you run back to the top and you do it again. This is our patterning. When we do a pattern repeatedly, it becomes a path that is almost ridiculously impossible to get rid of unless we wait for a fresh snow. We wait for that energy, that snow, that snowfall, right? That season where the snow comes and we're like ready to start over. So we wait for that inside of ourselves, it snows, and then we get to create new pathways. However, the pathway still exists. So when you're sledding, you might come across it and then end up in it again. But it's easier when you are ready to make new paths to get off the old, if that makes sense. So there can be a block in your chakras, yes, but the block starts the way we think, the way we feel. It's in our emotions, it's in shadow work, it's in inner child work. It's not just one. The energetic body is going to respond physically to us and tell us by the way it aches, by the way it's tight, by the way it arches, by the way it's stuck, that there's certain things going on. And depending on the chakra, shows us the emotion that we're having or the problem that we're having or the shadow that is rampant. It's the imbalance, right? If there's too much thought, you're not connected to your heart. If you're not connected to your heart, you have no roots. You don't feel safe because you're in fear. And that is governing all of your actions. And that fear is overtaking thought. See how it's like a full circle, how it's all connected? So it's not just one answer. It's a multitude of like all of them put together. So there's a fucking crazy ass web. A web, just like all of our brain synapses, that is governing, or rather making us and choosing the actions that we take. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I mean, we could get more into it, but that's like the top heavy. That's your comforter. I nurtured that question with a really big fluffy blanket, and it's a comforter. Oh, comfort by wisdom. Comforter. I fucking love these things. Okay. Did that like make sense? Did that come out clearly? It did inside my head, but it doesn't always come out of my mouth that way. Let me know in the comments. Does anybody else want a reading before I close this? I want to make sure I got to everybody. And please, if you need a bigger session, if you need more of this because you're ready and you're not sure where to go, I've got you. I have sessions available for this. Oh, Sharon, I love you too, babe. Now you want an Afghan. Yes, I do, actually. Can we orchestrate that? Does anybody want to knit for me? And make me pretties? Just saying. Just saying. I will gladly take these things. Oh, that worked out perfectly. That was the end of our second video. And this was a 2-hour fucking card reading. There was some serious wisdom here. And I don't even care that we went over our 1-hour time limit. Time does not really apply. So, yeah. That was like perfect. The music ended and we needed to get into this shadowy work. I needed to be here with you guys. You had a lot of big questions and I am so glad I was able to hold this space for you. Dude, yeah, all the cute babies. Hey. What's your reading? So I do reading collections. So what that means is you book a reading with me, but there's like 4 available in some of my offers, there's 6 available in some, and there are 8 available in others. So it's readings over a period of time. So they're months long. So it could be a 1 month, 6 week, 8 weeks, 4 months. We book it out so that as things are coming up, I'm teaching you how to work with your energetic body, your chakra systems, literally your shadow, your inner child work. We're getting into all of the things that are coming up. And then I'm teaching you alongside the card reading, how to cope with those things, how to navigate those areas that are coming up for you specifically based on the emotion, or if it's shadow work or inner child, or if it's higher ascension, or if you're channeling, or if you're at a different part in your spiritual journey, whatever is coming up for you, I'm there to help basically navigate you through that transformation that you're imparting or taking on. So they're all different things. So there's like next life steps. There's beyond trauma. There is ones for the moon cycle. So you can see what's coming up for you based on the weeks of the moon as well. There's so many that I offer. It's on my website, tiarusso.com. It's under readings and you'll see like this huge chunk of like different readings that you can book in with. So if you're looking for something specific, like I said, beyond trauma, next life steps, general wisdom, but like just seeing where you're at and knowing like, oh, am I like ascending right now? So that we can get you in tune with your own journey. That's what they're there for. Sorry, crochets. You could really crochet me a blanket if you wanted to, but that would take you like years. Oh gosh. Well, wait, can't you crochet with bigger yarn? People do that, right? Isn't there like arm crocheting or something? I saw, or maybe that's knitting. Arm knitting? I saw something like that and I tried it once. It didn't go well. I got stuck. It was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. But I have all of the yarn still, so that's interesting. Okay, does anybody else need a reading? My sweet loves. Any cards or anything? Or are we all set? I just want to make sure everybody had their fair chance. And if you do want to book a reading, tiarusso.com, go to the work with me, and you'll see all of the readings that I offer in there. The collections are actually priced lower than single readings, just because I don't feel as though single readings, just like this, will offer you as much wisdom as it would if you did a collection. Because this is going to stir up some shit for you. And then I want to be able to be there to support you through what comes next, because that's the point of transformation. It's not one stage. It's not one reading. It's multiple. So definitely check that out if you guys are interested in getting through something this year, especially because this is our year of shadow work. It's the first year of the decade. So like of the 2020s, it's year 1. So this is literally the year of the magician. This is the year we create ourselves. And in order to do that, we need to get rid of all the other shit. So we're going to be facing a lot of shadow work this year. So if you want to create yourself to be something amazing, there's weird things moving in my office, then we have to go through that shadow work. So if you're ready for it, definitely book in. Okay, my sweet loves, I think I'm going to close this container. I think we got a lot of valuable information here. I think a lot of us are feeling those shifts. Do not be afraid to rebel against yourself. I'm here for you if you have questions. If you want to book in a container for readings that are longer, I'm here for that as well. If you want one-off readings, which is just a one-time, book in for that as well. The scheduler is there. You can book that by yourself. You don't even have to technically coordinate with me if you don't need to. But if there's scheduling issues where you need a different time frame, message me. I'm extremely flexible. I'll work with you on that. because I find that it's really important that we have transformation. We have somebody there for us, and I'm here for you guys. So I will accommodate you to the best of my ability. So anyway, on that note, I love you all. I appreciate you. And reach out to me if you have questions even after this. You don't have to be an actual like booked client in order to ask me a question, right? I'm a person. I'm a human. You can come to me. Like, questions are okay to ask, all right? There's no like, you can ask unless you pay me. You can ask me questions. And please, like I said, I need your questions, so throw them at me so I can start answering them out loud in videos, please. Because they're good. They're so good. Everybody has these questions too. So once we build up that repertoire, that little vessel there of all the questions, it's going to be stored information, right? Okay, my loves. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'll see you